Lydia has got to be in the conversation for one of the most busted freebie champions you can pick up in all of Raid, man. Takes a while to get your hands on her though. Vizix, a little bit easier to get, 9-month login reward champion. She's the solve everything champ. Double hit, a 10-meter control, a decreased speed, an ally protect, a provoke on a 3-turn cooldown. Does a little bit of everything, kind of solves every dungeon and gets your foot in the door with Hydra if you're still struggling with that. A champion that you get way earlier, however, is the humble Drexthar Blood Twin. And this champion can do it all. When I first got my hands on Drexthar Blood Twin, I was like, okay, so I got him, it's a free legendary, yay, you know, like yippee for me, but where do I use him? I ended up not really using him much of anywhere, but that's because I was an idiot. So what is up, guys? This is Cobb, and welcome to Why Drexthar Blood Twin Just Solves Everything. Before we get to all of that, man, if you're looking to create a new Raid Shadow Legends account, man, get off to a fresh start, or invite a friend to start playing Raid, send them the beginner promo link that is down below this video at the top of the description box, man. By using that link to create your new Raid account, you're going to start off your new account with Basilius Uranus as your starter legendary champion, a few free epic champions as you level up your account, and it's just the best beginner promo link on, especially valuable while Michelangelo is the free login reward legendary champion, but that only lasts until October 30th, so the time is now, man, to get that second Raid account created, that new free-to-play start, or to send that link to a friend, man, and get them addicted to this video game too. Okay, man, Drexthar. Triple hitter A1 on Drexy, man, with the chance of placing HP burn. Very juicy, the fact that it is a triple hitter. Makes him pretty saucy for progression into things like Fire Knight. Also brings an AoE provoke on a 310 on his A2. 100% chance to place this provoke if the enemy is under an HP burn debuff, and will also place decreased attack if that provoke is placed. He also has the ability to place an HP burn on his passive as well, just whenever he takes a smack to the face. It's a 55% chance unbucked. You can buck it up to increase the land rate, but honestly, Drexthar's one of those guys that does just fine without any skill tomes at all, which is even better given how early on you get him on your account just from farming Tag Arena. Now, as for Drexthar Blood Twin's build, I've got him in a bunch of like hodgepodge random hand-me-down pieces of gear right here, but I want you to forget everything that you're looking at right now, because the really cool thing about Drexthar, and the thing that makes him such a damn good champion, is that just by tweaking your Drexthar's build, either building him in like regeneration gear, or maybe like a very high resistance build, or just like speed and perception gear and just using him as a provoker, you can adapt your Drexthar to become a cheat code into whatever area of the game where you need him to pop off. The relic I'm using on my Drexthar, we'll be switching up his build as the video goes on every now and again, just to showcase him a bit, is the Molten Death belt, just for a bit of accuracy. I didn't even bother to upgrade it, because honestly, I don't use Drexthar many areas on my main account, right? This is more for early game accounts, that if you're struggling in any areas of the game that we're about to cover, then Drexthar might just be your man. As for masteries, I don't have them fully farmed up, but I do have the most crucial mastery of all for Drexthar, really, which is the Giant Slayer mastery, all the way down at the bottom of the offense tree right here. With that triple hit at A1, he's got a 30% chance of inflicting bonus damage when attacking, equal to a percentage of enemy max HP, which makes him a great damage dealer into the likes of Demon Lord Clan Boss, which can actually be an area of the game where you use Drexthar Blood Twin. And you know what? Let's just throw him in there first. I hope I have a key. So when you're throwing your Drexthar into a Demon Lord team, this is of course a like very advanced Clan Boss team on my main account, but I'm just going to throw him in there and just see what kind of numbers he can pull. Just make sure you disable his A2. I don't think that the AI chooses to ever use the A2 against Demon Lord, but just in case, you just want to spam his A1 over and over. And because he's got that Giant Slayer mastery, he's not going to do much damage until you got the Giant Slayer mastery, by the way, just to be clear. But while he's got that Giant Slayer mastery, he's just spamming in those triple hits and getting all of that bonus max HP damage. As you can see there, we hit for a couple of 79Ks in one of his triple hit attacks. That's the Giant Slayer mastery right there, dude. So his A1 on its own is not going to do a whole lot. With Giant Slayer, it's going to do great. He's also going to bring HP burn to the table as well, which is, of course, a very solid way to just deal more percentage health damage against Demon Lord Clan Boss. And that's it. That's it. You know, you can use your Drexthar alongside like a Kale or a Fane or whatever your like other poisoner champion is going to be on the team. And he can pull his weight. And all that being said, let's just quick battle this because, yeah, I had no time to sit around and wait for an Infinity Wixwell team to finish doing its job, you know. But yeah, if you're in an early game account, this is totally where you can build out your Drexthar, and you can use him for this role in the likes of Fire Knight. And the Giant Slayer is always just going to get value anyway, kind of no matter what content you're using him in. So Giant Slayer Mastery is going to help out. Honestly, I don't know how the hell my Androck and Wixwell did so much damage, like keeping up with the Drexthar here, but whatever, dude. Maybe it's probably the Drexthar speeds just suck, to be honest, but there you go. Another area of the game where you can use your Drexthar is in, of course, Finite's Castle, which we have just touched on. Let's just imagine, if you will, that you're an early game-ish account that you're trying to push into stage 20 for the very first time. Let's throw them in a budget team. And so this is the team that we're going to be using the Drexthar in, right? All kinds of freebie champions here. Scylla the Drakes is going to make an appearance as well for some extra wave control. And then we just stuffed the Cold Heart in there too, because, you know, it pays to have at least a couple of finite semi-specialists on the squad, so we're going to throw her in there as well. And the Drexthar's job of this team is going to be to, bam, land a provoke on one champion out of all 5? How depressing is that? Okay, so yeah, this is why I paired him up with the Scylla the Drake, so that between the Scylla the Drake's stuns and the Drexthar's provokes, the waves shouldn't really get much of a sniff in. And even if any of our like fragile temperature controllers do die, the Scylla the Drakes is going to be there to pick them up and get the revive as well. Oh, boom! There we go, but that's more like it. Now the Drexthar actually triple provokes right there. Frankly, it wasn't really needed anymore, you know, the job was kind of done, but basically it really pays to have one or, you know, a couple potentially like Scylla and Drexthar, or babysitter champions to get your bosses to the to get your champions to the boss inside of Finite, right? Your fragile 10-meter controllers, they can use a babysitter, some extra protection to just get them where they need to be and keep them safe until you get to the boss. Drexthar can do that job as well as bring in that triple hitter. And well, slowly but surely does it, we do finally get to the boss, and this is where his triple hit is going to help to just break down the boss's shield stacks, which is great. And we've also got an ally attack with Morag as well that does actually land on the Drexthar, so that's another triple hit. And the boss's shield stacks are just gone, man. They're just done, just like that. And so not an earth-shattering impact from the Drexthar in this dungeon, but it can help you get your start in Finite, which is the most important thing. Getting Finite to stage 20 on a new account for the first time can be a bloody pain, and Drexthar can help you along with that. Now, what about the other dungeons? Well, he's going to be a general help in most other places. He can control the waves in Dragon's Lair, as well as apply an HP burn against the Dragon boss as well, and so he's going to be like a good general help there. Ice Golem's Peak, same thing. HP burn is just very, very valuable in Ice Golem's Peak against the Ice Golem boss, and he's going to give you wave control on the way there as well. Spider's Den, however, is going to be the first place in this video where we're going to be adapting the Drexthar's build a little bit to turn him into a spider specialist. The strategy you are about to see will work into stage 16 of Spider's Den. It will work into stage 20 of Spider's Den, and it could also hypothetically, I guess with enough speed and stuff, could also work into stage 24 of Spider's Den as well. But stage 20 is a great stage to farm, and this is what the team is going to look like. Bam! Does it look familiar? Well, it should look familiar because it's exactly the same as the Finite team that we were just using, except we switched in Armager, uncommon 10-meter controller champion, instead of the Morag. Now, because we are in stage 20 of Spider's Den, right? Like stage 16, stage 20 is also a Spirit Affinity Spider's Den stage. Why is that important? Because if you look at the little affinity chart up here at the top middle of the screen, Spirit Affinity is strong against Force Affinity, okay, in this like little triangle that we've got going on here. This means that as long as your Drexthar is the only Force Affinity champion on your team, then stage 20 Spider and its Spiderlings are gonna really like attacking into your Drexthar. Now, your Drexthar's gonna die horribly if you don't adapt up his build. So how do you adapt the Drexthar's build to make it so that he just doesn't die screaming? Well, I'm glad you asked. Oh god, this actually takes the Armager's helmet. That's a bit of a problem. That's not good. We'll just remove that and just find a new helmet real quick to throw into this build as well. There we go, man. This one will do just fine. It's got like a double resistance roll because that's what we're looking for, right? Looking at this new build and the stat adaptations that we made to the Drexthar here, we are rocking like a full regeneration set on the Drexthar, right? So it's trying to stack up as much HP percentage and stuff as we possibly can. However, we haven't stacked that much HP. He's actually lost like 5,000 HP here, as you can see. We're gaining a crap load of resistance though. That's the most important thing, man. We're gaining a boatload of resistance. I believe you need about 240 resistance. I might be completely making that up. I think it's about 240 resistance, maybe a little bit more, to basically resist almost all poisons in stage 20 of Spider's Den. A resistance banner is going to go a long way towards achieving this, and so looking out for resistance banners and amulets that roll into resistance as well are also going to be quite important for you too. So we're going to go ahead and slam on this gear, and just like that, our Drexthar can no longer die. It's really that easy. Why does this team work? Again, it's another Scylla the Drakes plus Drexthar combo that makes this team work. All you need is a relatively fast team, ideally like a speed or a lead like a Haikatoon, like we have, and then a bunch of 10-meter controllers on the team plus Scylla the Drakes and Drexthar. Okay, the Scylla the Drakes' stuns are going to crowd control some of the spiderlings. That's going to reduce some of the damage coming in on the Drexthar, which is going to be required because he's going to be taking a lot of attacks just now from these spiderlings. Because he's built, however, in over 300 resistance, it's almost impossible for the spiders to poison him. And because he's in regeneration gear and the Scylla the Drakes is on the team, that's a lot of healing coming in every turn for the Drexthar as well. And so the spiders, just basic attacks that they're throwing on into the Drex, are always they're just never going to kill him. It's never going to kill him. Now, if you're not able to hit as much HP percent and defense stats and stuff, and hit good high resistance on your Drexthar, and your Drexthar dies, he's just taking too much damage from the spiderlings, you don't really have to worry about that either, because Scylla the Drakes will just revive him. You know what I'm saying? So, this is a tight little team. It's a tight little team, man. And as you can see, whenever the spiderlings attack on into the Drexthar, they have a chance of receiving an HP burn debuff, which every time the spiderlings burn for a little bit of HP burn damage, it damages the boss for how much? 158,000 on stage 20, and that's going to change a little bit depending on stage, of course, but yeah, because his passive is placing the HP burn against the spiderlings, all he's got to do is live and soak up the spiderling attacks and spread those burns out slowly across all of the spiderlings. Again, this is another team where you don't need a bucked Scylla of the Drakes necessarily. Mine is bucked, so she's getting out more stuns than I would like. Ideally, there'd be more spiderlings attacking in here and getting burns and making this run just a little bit faster, but because I bucked my Scylla of the Drakes for a video, it's always for a video. Every stupid decision I make on my channel, most of them anyway, are for a bloody video, man, but whatever, dude. That ship sailed, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is the team. This is how it works. Any stage of Spider's Den where it's Spirit Affinity Spider, you can pull this off with Drexy. Oh, I also made the stupid mistake of allowing my Cold Heart to use their A2 attack all enemies skill. Not a good idea, because that's actually killing the spiderlings before they can start burning the boss. So yeah, if you're using a Cold Heart with this, just be careful with how much AoE damage you're throwing out. It's better to keep the spiderlings alive. And alright, man, fight over. Yeah, because I let the Cold Heart do her AoE, she actually like doubled the Drexthar's damage. Otherwise, the damage would be a lot closer, right, between like a Cold Heart and a Drexthar if the Cold Heart wasn't allowed to use their AoE skill. But whatever, I screwed that up, doesn't matter. That's how it works. Go up and roll up the Drexthar's gloves here, by the way. They were actually sitting at rank 12, man, so we'll go ahead and get that done. They actually roll into speed as well, which is bloody lovely. The next, we'll roll up his helmet as well. The next area of the game where you can use this exact same build, right, it's not just like a one-trick build, this one, for Spider's Den. You can also oh god, I can also change up his relic as well, by the way. For a more solo-style build, man, we could actually go ahead and throw, for example, a Golden Elixir on our Drexthar, where it instantly heals for 10% whenever their HP drops below 50%. That could work just fine. You can find some resistance from certain relics as well, to help bolster up your resistance numbers a wee bit. Ooh, can even try with something like a Gilded Dragonstone here. Maybe I actually go ahead and switch this one over. Bit of defense, bit of resistance, man. Am I going to rank this up even more? Yeah, probably not. I guess we just leave it where it is. We'll go for the Sanctified Skin Gem, where it receives 10% more healing. I think that's also just going to be grand for us. For the next place where we're going to show off Drexthar. So kind of or mostly the same build for the next area where we're going to be using him. However, I am going to go ahead and switch him on over into some Immortal and Regeneration gear as well, because this is going to be like the more solo style Drexthar build. If I could just throw some of like my better pieces on him, that would be lovely. These good old gloves right here that are currently on a Doom Priest, those can go on over. And I guess we'll take the helmet from from my Myceliac Priest on. And so now we've got a much more solo-centric type build on Drexthar, where he's got like a lot more health. His defense numbers are about the same, if not slightly more, but he's still packing a pretty good amount of resistance at about 310 resistance because of the banner there mostly. And this is going to be a build for soloing Ice Golem. Did I mention that already? I can't even remember. One caveat to soloing Ice Golem, yeah, you can use him for soloing Ice Golem and things like Cursed City, wherever the Ice Golem shows up, and that can be great. But for farming stage 20, not the best for soloing stage 20, because again, he's weak affinity into spirit, and so he can end up taking way too much damage, be very, very tough to keep him alive. Let's go ahead and throw him on into stage 22 instead. And why do you want to solo Ice Golem? Because of course you can do this while farming up a whole bunch of food champions inside of Ice Golem. You might want to run like Drexthar plus one other champion for just killing the waves of enemies, like a Thor or a Thorlin, to just get you to the boss a little bit faster. That can be totally another way that you can do it, but Drexthar, I believe, should be able to basically solo this up on his own alongside a bunch of food champions, so that you could be doing some champion training at the same time as you're farming like an Ice Golem tournament, and you just leave it on auto battle while you're at the gym or you're cooking dinner or whatever the hell, you know? And the resistance? Why is the resistance still so important in this build? Because the boss's minions have a chance of placing heal reduction against your Drexthar, which is a big problem because then of course that shuts down your regeneration set. So the resistance is still really quite important as it is into Spider. And we arrive at the boss and the first heal reduction has already been resisted. Now we're just kind of relying on getting HP burns up on everything, including the boss itself, in order to secure this kill. The first burn's going to go on up, and now it's just a measure of, do we have enough healing to make it through this, man? We're going to find out very, very soon. Good thing about this kill, by the way, is one of the things that can happen against Ice Golem is, of course, if you trigger the boss's big old Frigid Vengeance attack, which it does every time it drops below 80%, 60, then 45, then 30%, and so on. If it attacks on end while its 2 minions are alive, that attack just absolutely one-shots whoever's... Oh my god, they actually landed the heal reduction. Oh, live Drexthar! You're doing great! Okay, it looks like we're going to be good. We're going to be good. But yeah, cool thing about Drexthar is that all of the damage he's dealing to the boss is HP burn based, meaning that the boss never actually gets to trigger this passive, right? If the boss goes beyond those health thresholds, some poison damage or HP burn damage, just because of the way that that mechanic is coded, it doesn't actually trigger the boss's big counter attack while its 2 minions are alive. So, yeah, you're completely safe from that Frigid Vengeance. And so there you have it, man. Again, setting up like these solo carry champions on your account like this for just boosting food champions and leveling food champions at the same time as you're hitting tournaments and stuff on your account is a big deal. And honestly, I didn't realize how valuable it would be until I first set up my very first like solo carry champions on my own account as well. Now we can go ahead and port almost exactly the same build to Doom Tower as well for soloing things like Frost Spider, where you might want to run Drexthar as the aura lead for his accuracy aura. You're going to need very high accuracy ratings in order to actually land the HP burn against Frost Spider, but he can do a job there as well as into Scarab King, where all he really needs is enough survivability in order to get the job done here as well. Now, one change you might want to make to your Drexthar to make this a little bit easier is have a little dig around in your accessories and see if you've got any blood shield rings, which apparently I actually do. It's not a very good one, but, you know, it'll do, right? And this is just going to make it so that you are not triggering the counterattacks against the Scarab itself. And so besides that, exactly the same build. These waves should be much easier than the Ice Golem waves for us to kill off, so I'm not too worried about these. Except I forgot these waves bring regeneration buffs. Okay, dude. Alright, man. Let's get the Thor, and we'll get the Thorlin in there as well, just to clap the cheeks of these waves and actually get Drex out of the boss. There we go. What now, waves? What now? Drexthar showing up, man, with his two heavies. You know what I'm saying, man? He's got the boys with him now. Now they don't stand a chance. Now, the Blood Shield Ring might not be, like, completely necessary for this fight on your Drex, but it is just going to make it easier. This is only, like, the middle difficulty tier of Scarab King in hard mode Doom Tower. I'm just not at the hardest level just yet on my account in, like, this current cycle. Of course, I've beat it before, but I'm just not there right now. And so this is all I can test him against. I'm pretty sure, though, he'd do just fine. To be honest, the high resistance stats actually don't matter so much in this build as well. You can just go full HP. I've still just got him in the resistance banner because, actually, well, you know what, man, maybe you could resist some of the decreased speed debuffs and maybe that would help as well. But I feel like you could probably get by just fine by just going like a lot of HP as well on the banner. You've got some options in how you can do this. But yeah, we're just relying on the HP burn ticks for getting the boss dead. And so as long as the Drex can't die, which it appears he's going to be just fine, you will eventually get the boss dead. It's just going to take a while, but hell, you've only got to beat it once, you know, to finish that current Doom Tower rotation. And this is going to be like a 16 or 17 minute run or something absolutely ridiculous like that, so let's get the hell out of here. And of course, on top of all of these uses, your Drexthar is still going to get to solid value basically in perpetuity in things like faction wars and stuff like that, right? Gonna get him back down in his hand-me-down gear. These are all the areas of the game that I can think of where, what the hell is going on? Where your Drexthar is a little bit of a beast and where you can adapt his build to clap some cheeks. You can also put your Drexthar in just very high accuracy and, well, whatever gear, really. As long as you've got enough accuracy to land your HP burns, you can put him in a team with the Seal of the Drakes and have the Seal of the Drakes in the regeneration and the immortal gear, and you can throw these two into Griffin in Doom Tower, and they kind of form the backbone of like a semi-unkillable Griffin team as well. Sadly, just can't showcase that one right now, man. If there's any areas of the game where Drexthar pops off that I haven't touched on just yet, that could really help out new players, by the way, please do go ahead and plop it down below in the comments. I think I touched on basically everywhere, though, you know what I'm saying? Great legendary champion. Incredible for progression. Going to be building this guy pretty damn soon on my own free-to-play account to use him in basically all of the areas, minus maybe Demon Lord, because I don't think he quite fits into that team on my free-to-play account yet, but going to be using him in many areas as sort of like a cheat code on my own free-to-play, you know what I'm saying? Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this one, man. Good old Drexthar, he deserves an up-to-date spotlight on this channel, so we went ahead and got that done. Thanks for stopping by. If you're looking to create a new raid account, man, make sure to get that done by using the beginner promo link that's down below this video at the top of the description box, and I'm going to catch all of you all this day a tad bit later, man.